commissioner, head of the Georgia Commission, he comes out and he says, quote, "I believe it's in the public's interest to know because they've been promoting something they should not have been promoting. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's a money grabber, and I'm not okay with it."
The much-awaited clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis has been cancelled, leaving fans stunned and the contest relocated to another city. To begin with, Dana White frequently criticized Jake Paul, insisting Paul dodged fair competition and chose much smaller rivals. He noted that when Logan boxed Floyd, the size gap was enormous. And now Jake is targeting Gervonta Davis, who is also much smaller. White claimed these fights aren't true tests since Paul relies on his size advantage. He also compared it to Conor McGregor, saying Paul is simply too big for him.
The burnt bridge with my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your the same size. When you Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a bomb, and you ate it. He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Who do you got?
Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than Floyd, but he's too small. Brother's gonna be able to get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up.
I hear your critique on fighting guys the same size as you. Is that why you guys wouldn't let me fight Conor?
Yeah, you're Conor weighs 145 pounds, 155 pounds.
Yeah, but he says he can beat.
At the same time, Jake Paul admitted the bout won't be easy, yet declared he's fully committed to fighting Gervonta Davis. He called it a major step in his boxing path, even joking it's like taking his talents to South Beach. For Paul, this represents another opportunity to prove he's serious about the sport.
Tough decision to make.
Man, it's very tough.
November 14th, Netflix.
And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to
I will be taking my talents to
South Beach
to fight Gervonta.
Additionally, Paul hyped the fight, recognizing that many think Davis is tougher, more skilled, and expected to beat him. But Paul countered that this belief is exactly what makes the fight thrilling and said the ring will reveal who's correct.
I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on
wow.
Netflix. Let's go. People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good.
Still, Paul admitted taking on Gervonta Davis is the biggest risk of his career. Unlike previous rivals, Davis is a lifelong top-level boxer with decades of training, while Jake only began in 2020. He underlined the contrast. Davis has never fought someone with Jake's size, and both are in peak condition. Jake presented it as high stakes. If he wins, he stuns the boxing world by defeating one of the sport's elite. If he loses, fans expect him to return to YouTube.
Jokes aside, this is the most dangerous fight of my career. This is no influencer, no MMA fighter, no retired boxer. He's been fighting since he was 5 years old, and I have 5 years of boxing experience. My first pro fight was in January of 2020. I've never fought a professional boxer this experienced, and he's never fought someone my size. He's 30 years old. I'm 28 years old. We're in our prime. If I win, I just beat one of boxing's greatest and pulled off the impossible. If he wins, he gives you all what you want to see and sends me back to YouTube.
Soon after, however, the cancellation in Atlanta was made official. Georgia officials revoked the permits, citing the extreme weight gap as unsafe. They criticized the fight as a simple cash grab and made clear it would not happen there. Consequently, the match was promptly rescheduled for November 14th in Miami, Florida. Initially, the Georgia Athletic Commission voiced concerns over the drastic weight difference between the fighters. Because of those safety and rule issues, the contest was moved to Florida. In response, Jake Paul also confirmed the new Miami venue on the same date at the Casa Center. He promoted it as a massive Netflix event, promising full intensity and a plan to defeat Gervonta Davis. To stir the pot, he teased Davis by calling him an angry elf. Jake Paul, new city, same plan, seek and destroy the tank. Casa Center, Friday, November 14th. I'm bringing fire, and Miami will watch me topple this angry elf live on Netflix. On the flip side, Gervonta Davis fired back too. He accused Jake of handpicking rivals. He warned this time Paul blundered by stepping up against him. Davis even joked that Jake should chase chickens to slim down before entering the ring. He also voiced excitement to showcase the matchup on Netflix while vowing to humiliate Paul. Gervonta Davis said, "Jake Paul has been cherry-picking in boxing for some time now, but this time he chose the wrong opponent. Davis added in a statement, "He better start dropping weight, chasing chickens, and praying that helps him on fight night. Thanks to Netflix for letting me punish this clown." According to Blue Blood Sports, he pointed out Georgia officials' stance on the bout. They believed the contest was dangerous and only about money. The commission viewed the promotion as careless and refused approval.
Head of the Georgia Commission, he comes out, he says, quote, "I believe it's in the public's interest to know because they've been promoting something they should not have been promoting. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's a money grabber, and I'm not okay with that."
In addition, Blue Blood Sports mentioned that although the fight is now set for Florida, it still needs clearance from the state commission. They recalled how Florida previously sanctioned Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather as an exhibition, but Jake Paul's professional record might complicate things. For the moment, it remains unclear whether Florida will authorize the bout as an exhibition. Many fans have already branded it a circus fight that no serious boxing authority wants involvement in.
Florida, in Dade County, where the Miami Heat play, and guess what? That commission still has to approve of this. Right? So now they need that commission to approve of it. Right? And I'm sure Florida will approve of it because they did so with Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. They allowed that to take place. Floyd Mayweather is a welterweight, Logan Paul is a heavyweight, but Logan Paul doesn't have the professional boxing matches that Jake Paul has had. As the B-side to a YouTuber in a circus fight that not near boxing commission wants to be a part of.
At the same time, Eddie Hearn believed Hank Davis would struggle to compete with Jake Paul in a pure boxing contest. While he still respects him as a fighter, he views it as an intriguing challenge, yet he doubts the fight will actually materialize because of the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Tank's situation and the event logistics.
I just don't think he's going to be as good as me in boxing. Like if I went into MMA, I don't think I'd be as good as him. But that's just my beliefs and my confidence, but I invite that. And you're never going to hear me talk badly about him because I like the guy. But I'm very excited by the challenge. And I think it's great that he's coming into boxing. Let's see if he's got the heart and the engine for it.
Jake Paul and Tank doesn't seem to be happening.
I saw that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I worry about those fights involving Tank anyway, because how can you put the plans together for an event of that magnitude not knowing what's what? So, yeah, I've not spoke to Nikita or heard from Jake Paul, but
Likewise, Shakur Stevenson felt the matchup didn't make much sense, particularly since bigger paydays and better fights are available elsewhere. He thought Tank's ability would see him through despite the size gap. At the same time, he acknowledged Jake Paul's consistent growth in boxing and suggested that, with proper chances, Jake might truly accomplish something meaningful in the sport.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Furthermore, Canelo Alvarez admitted he wasn't certain how Gervonta Davis could manage the weight and size disadvantage against Jake Paul. Still, he believed that this very contrast would make the fight entertaining to watch. Canelo added that he was looking forward to the clash and curious about how it unfolds, but he leaned slightly in favor of Gervonta Davis to win.
Win between Jake Paul and Gervonta.
But I don't know. It should be Gervonta, right? But the weight size and everything, we'll see. It's a fun entertainment.
By contrast, Terence Crawford reacted with doubt regarding the announcement. He asked how a 135 pounds fighter like Davis could realistically step in with someone near 200 pounds. Crawford explained that the weight difference makes it seem less like a genuine contest, since Tank would have trouble getting past Jake's jab. And if Jake connected cleanly, the fight might finish in an instant knockout.
Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank.
Commentators on the Ariel Helwani show offered their perspective on the clash, saying that while it raises fewer safety concerns than Jake Paul's proposed fight with Mike Tyson, the size gap is still a significant issue. They argued Tank Davis is skilled enough to defend himself, but the truth is Jake's strength and weight advantage could produce a knockout. Some even speculated the fight might end up staged more like an exhibition with Jake easing off to make it last.
Tank is a capable enough boxer to protect himself there. This is where like it transit. Like Mike Tyson, I had much more concerns about than Tank. Is Tank probably going to get knocked out? Yeah, like it's pretty
You
likely.
think so?
The size.
I don't think so. Wow.
How? How could he not?
I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I think it was fought with the intensity of the Tyson fight.
Oh,
no way.
Oh, so you
think he catches him?
So you think he's going to carry Tank?
No,
I don't
think
think
so.
exhibition
No.
fights.
Oh,
Tank is so high level in his prime.
Oh, interesting.
I know the size
I think that'd be bad for Tank's brand. I think that'd be pretty catastrophic for him.
I think that's exactly what will happen. I think it's going to be.
Okay.
You're saying Jake Paul is...
In the same way, Teddy Atlas criticized the fight because of the huge size disparity, labeling it a mismatch. Still, he explained why the public will pay for it, the what-if factor. Fans will be curious to see if Tank, even though smaller, can connect with his power punches on Jake Paul and completely change the outcome. That curiosity, Atlas said, is what gives the fight its selling point.
I didn't like it, to be honest, for the optics and everything else I just said. But you do have one guy who, yeah, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter, he can punch. And he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling it. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're gonna find out if he can dance. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, do the cha-cha. That's what's gonna sell.
Meanwhile, Rolly Romero said the fight would be unpredictable. Jake's size might overwhelm, or Tank could land a shot that changes it all. He admitted it's difficult to evaluate since it may ultimately be staged as nothing more than an exhibition. But Romero emphasized that regardless of the result, Tank's standing as a 3-division world champion remains untouchable.
A lot of things can happen. I mean, Jake Paul might be too big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or it's an exhibition. We don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
However, Ryan Garcia dismissed the Davis matchup outright, calling it a circus and claiming boxing is slowly shifting into WWE with spectacles like this. When asked if Tank has a chance, he admitted yes, but quickly cut the conversation short, insisting he didn't even want to talk about it further.
Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. I know on Instagram you call it a circus.
Yeah, boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me questions like that again.
Additionally, Sean Porter pointed out the extreme size gap between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul. He explained that Tank, even at his natural heaviest, is closer to 150 pounds, while Jake hovers near 190 pounds. That is an enormous imbalance, unlike Terence Crawford moving up to 168, since Crawford naturally carries more weight. In Porter's view, Tank versus Jake is on another level of mismatch, making the fight unusual and questionable.
That I have is you have a legitimate 135-pound champion fighter getting in the ring with that 190-pound guy, whatever it is that Jake Paul is at. So now we already let's really answer this thing. Tank maybe walks around at 150, maybe. We know he's not walking around at 170. We could maybe say 160, but we know without a shadow of a doubt 150, right? In shape, 145. In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180. You know, so going at 168. This thing right here is just all the way different.
MMA analyst Chael Sonnen broke it down by stressing that allegations of Jake Paul fixing fights aren't simple insults. They are criminal accusations. He warned that such claims imply state or federal crimes which could ruin Jake's license, his image, and potentially his business partners. That's why, Sonnen argued, Jake is right to defend himself legally instead of ignoring it. Finally, Daniel Cormier highlighted the risky setup of this fight. He noted that Davis is the more skilled boxer, but far smaller, creating a no-win scenario. If Davis wins, Jake Paul's boxing progress looks meaningless. But if Davis loses, his legacy as a pound-for-pound great takes damage, since he'd be giving away so much weight. Daniel Cormier said, "You're fighting a better fighter, just a much smaller one." If Tank Davis wins, Jake's achievements vanish. If Tank loses, his reputation suffers because he would have fallen to a man nearly 70 pounds heavier, unless Jake agreed to a set weight.
Not accusing him of being part of fixing a fight. You're accusing him of being a criminal. And it's a very big deal. The same way as he can get together and come after these guys from a legal perspective. These guys, right, not those same ones, but I'm just saying a group could come after him for fixing fights if they truly believed that he was fixing fights. It would cost him his license, it would cost him his reputation, it would be a fortune. I mean, this would be very unprecedented occurrence. I'm just saying it could. And if you want to talk trash about Jake Paul, you're not going to find yourself in a lawsuit. If you would like to put him down and you would like to be mean, he is not going to sue you. You're accusing him of a crime.
Ultimately, the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis clash has turned into more than a fight. It's become a storyline packed with controversy, drama, and unresolved questions. From Georgia's cancellation to Miami's new venue, the arguments about weight, safety, and legacy continue to escalate. One thing is certain, the world will be watching closely to see if this battle finally lives up to the hype. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the latest updates.